What is up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk to you about how you can start investing in property, or what I would do if I wanted to invest in property but starting from zero. Now, I'm not the type of person to subscribe to no money down deals. Deals need money. Now granted, it doesn't have to be your money. You could use somebody else's money to invest in property, but it always needs money, even if it's just as small as the solicitor fees, like a couple of £1,000 for the solicitor fees or a minor refurb or whatever. You need money to invest in property, okay? Again, it doesn't have to be your money, but you always need money. But in this video, I want to talk to you about what I would do if I went from zero up to scaling up to being able to invest in property. Now, if this is the type of video that you're interested in, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss an upload. It would just be really great to have you as part of the family here as we build this community of investors, of business people. It would be super cool, so make sure that you click the subscribe button and also the like button as well, because it helps push out my videos to more people, and we can make people more aware of this. It'd be really helpful for me if you guys would do that. And the method that I want to talk to you about, the journey, the process that I know that I would go on if I started from zero but I really wanted to start investing in property. There's a really simple journey that I would take myself on to actually build up to investing in property. And it's from a book called The Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, if you're not familiar with that, it's basically that Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book, splits people's income and the way people make money into a quadrant of 4 different sections. So you've got the E, which is the employed people that are employed by somebody else. You've got S, which is people who are self-employed. They're employed by themselves. You've got B, which is business. The difference between self-employed and a business is able to run and operate even with you not there, whereas being self-employed, if you don't work, you don't get paid. Whereas a business is a system that pays you money. And then the last section is the I, okay, which is investing. This is where you put money into something and the money makes you more money. Okay? And the goal realistically from the whole book, if you journey through the whole book, the premise of the book is basically saying you need to get yourself from E, being employed, or S, self-employed, over to the other side of the cash flow quadrant. You need to get into a position where you can invest in things that will make you money, so your money makes you money as opposed to you working for your money. So as I go along, I'll kind of point out where in the quadrant I am at that point. But these are the 3 or 4 steps that I would take if I was to start with zero, what I would do to build up to being able to invest in property. Number 1, I would get a job. This is not the thing that people want to hear. Like, people don't want to hear this because they just don't like the idea of getting a job, and people who want to invest in property, they want, this financial freedom. But realistically, if you want to start buying and selling houses, or if you want to start buying investment properties, the best way to do it, the easiest way to do it, is to start by getting a job. For me, this is what I personally do as well, because I've got a family. I've got my wife, my dog, and I've got bills that I need to pay. So I would start by getting a job, because I know that I could do that quite easily. I could just secure myself a job, and then I've got regular income, which is providing us with money that would mean that we are able to pay our bills. But also, almost more importantly, is it makes me mortgageable. It means that I'm able to borrow money from other lenders, from other people, from banks usually. So at that point, I jump straight into the E part of the quadrant, okay? I'm an employee at that point. This is what I would start by doing. I become an employee. The second stage to my master plan is that I would sit down and I would figure out what my most valuable skill is, okay? We've all got skills. We've all got things that we have that we can do, or whatever it is, a skill or a gift or something like that, where we are able to do something that other people can't, that other people would find valuable. So I'd identify my most valuable skill, and then I would learn to monetize that and turn it into a business. We then jump straight over to the right hand side of the quadrant, which is the B part of the quadrant, business. I'd build up a Business. I'd completely skip the self-employed purely because I don't really see the point in it. There'd be no point in going into that stage. I think if you're already in that stage, then yes, you can't help it because you're already there. But if it was me, I would skip that completely. I'd go straight from being an employee to building a business. I wouldn't leave my job. I'd stay as an employee, but I'd build up a business. A lot of people say, like, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what my skill would be. I haven't got any skills. Genuinely, like, especially young people that say this, it's unbelievable how many people say this. But things like just being able to do tech stuff, like building a website. I could build a website incredibly easily, incredibly fast, and that's something that a lot of business owners that may be of the older generation may really struggle with, or don't like the idea of that or the sound of that, and therefore they would rather pay money to get somebody else to do it. So you could set up a web creation company. That's the kind of thing I do. I can do videography, photography, building websites. I could teach people how to build a YouTube channel because that's a skill that I've learned recently that I'm starting to do. So there's things that I'm learning, skills that I have. I can drum as well. Maybe I could teach people to drum, but I could build a business around these things that would mean that I can scale something that is bringing me money. I'm building a system that is paying me every single month. For me personally, I think the best businesses out there at the minute are online businesses because the initial capital to get going is usually incredibly low rather than with physical products. To be able to sell something online, like being able to build a website, realistically, there's not a whole lot of money you'd have to lay out before you get a customer. It could be that you get a customer and with that money set up a website. It's not that you're having to buy in a product to then pitch it and sell it to somebody. Yeah, you may need to make a website, for example, but regardless, an online business is one, lower barrier to entry, low cost to entry usually, and two, is way easier to scale. I joked about being able to drum earlier. Scaling a drum teaching business would be pretty flipping difficult unless I moved it all online. I'm getting sidetracked anyway. But the whole point that I'm making is if you can have an online business, you could even learn about e-commerce. You could learn about drop shipping, whatever. There's things out there where you can build a business and that can start to pay you money. So then I'm kind of in between two of the stages in the cash flow quadrant. I'm an employee, but I'm also a business owner. I've run a business. What I'd look to do is build up that business to replace my income from my employed work. I would then leave that employed work and invest more time into the business, scale it up and use the money to pay myself, pay staff, pay any kind of business costs that I may incur. And then what I've left, I would then start chucking it into property. I'd be absolutely throwing that into the I section of the quadrant, the investment side of the quadrant. And from there, you're just running with it because you then scale up the business. The more you build the business, the more you can invest in property. The business could be property. Like, you just don't know. You could build up a rent-to-rent business. You could build up a property deal sourcing business, whatever it might be. But you can build up that business and then use that business to fund your investments where your money is actually making you money as opposed to you making your money. Rather than exchanging your time for money, you're exchanging money for more money. It's a pretty good deal. It's like me saying I'm going to give you £10 and you're going to give me £20 back. It's pretty good. I think that's the way we'd all prefer to live. So that's what investing is and that's the goal. But how I would fund that personally is by building a business. As a bit of an action point, as a bit of something to think about and take away from this video is figure out where you are. Figure out where you are on the cash flow quadrant. Are you an employee? Are you self-employed? Are you a business owner? Are you already an investor? Figure out where you are and then plan the stages and the steps to move around the quadrant until you are able to invest in money. So for example, if you're currently working at Starbucks as a barista, you are an employee, you're in the east part of the quadrant, how could you utilize a skill that you have to turn it into a business that you could create money from and therefore invest in property? Like, and so many people say to me, like, I just don't have a skill. You do. Everybody has a skill. Taking that example, if you're a barista, coffee barista, you could run, I don't know how much demand there is for this, but you could run an online course on how to create a coffee, how to craft a coffee, an amazing flat white, do latte art, all that kind of thing. You could turn that into an online training course, and you promote that on Facebook through Facebook ads. You could contact all the different independent coffee houses that you know in the area. You become absolutely amazing at latte art. You go around and you show them how to do it. You show them why it's valuable, why customers like it, and people will pay more, or you get more customers in if you're able to make fancy latte art or whatever it is. But you're able to market that, build a business around it, and then make money from it. Okay. Whatever it is, whatever situation you're in, figure out what part of the quadrant you're on, figure out what skill that you have or that you know a lot about that you could continue to learn, and then turn it into a business that you can then use as a machine to invest in property so that your money is making you money. So for me, that's what I would do. If I was personally looking to go from zero to a property investor, what I would do is I'd get a job, I'd figure out what skill I would be most valuable to people, turn it into some kind of online product, scale the business, use that money to invest in property, and then we're done. It sounds super simple. I know there's loads more that goes into it. There's a lot of work that's involved in every single one of those steps, and it sounds like I'm saying, oh, this is dead easy. I know it's not. But if that's where you want to get to, those are the kind of steps that I will personally take and that I'd recommend you to take as well. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you found it helpful. Make sure that you click the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss an upload. I upload videos every single Sunday. Please don't miss them. Make sure that you click that bell notification so that you get notified when I upload. Also, make sure that you click the like button because it really helps the algorithm to push my video to more people, which would be super, super awesome. And as always, if you've got questions, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to be able to chat with you down there. And I will see you guys in the next video.